Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yo, what is up, guys? Oscar here with a new video. And this is going to be discussing training camp day 3. Some notes and nuggets that I picked up today in the notes. Some beat reporters and some staff writers were discussing about training camp. So let's go ahead and let's get started and let's talk about this real quick. So some notes that I forgot to mention yesterday was that not Cam Sims, but some injury news. Ricky Seals-Jones picked up an injury. It was a leg injury. However, today we found out that it was just a leg contusion. So, no real concern there regarding his leg injury. Cam Sims did walk off gingerly, but apparently, he's fine. It looked severe, but he was able to come back and was working with the special teams. But he did have some incredible catches today, and I'll break those down in a second. And then some news that broke out yesterday was Curtis Samuel and I think Cornelius Lucas both are on the COVID list. So that is really, really tough to hear that Curtis Samuel. We probably won't see Curtis Samuel until week 1. Who knows if he either tested positive if he actually has the virus, or if it was a close contact. So we'll have to wait and see about that, along with Cornelius Lucas. So those are some notes about injuries that happened throughout the yesterday and today. So it's good to see that Ricky Seals-Jones is actually day-to-day. Again, just a leg contusion, but he will be day-to-day. Hopefully he should be fine, but we'll have to wait and see. Some other notes here that I have were that there were a couple of fights breaking down. Today it's Friday, and it was really hot today in Richmond. It's hot in Virginia in general. So today, Friday was fight day. So there were a couple of fights that broke out, and I will obviously break those down as well. So let's go ahead and let's begin some notes. And some notes that were taken by Zach Selby was on the first one-on-one drills. Terry McClaurin and William Jackson III were added again, and then Terry McClaurin, on a slant pattern, gets the best out of William Jackson there. Dyami Brown matched up against Cam Curl in one instance, but then Dyami Brown hauled in a pass with Troy Apke on the coverage. Cole Holcomb had a tipped pass from Kyle Allen, and Cole Luke picked it off, and he took it to the house. So Cole Luke, who I think is a linebacker, had a few decent plays today. He got some reps. I think he's on the second or third string guy. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Cole Luke. But he had an impressive training camp today with 2 interceptions, and of course he had that pick 6 here. Fitzpatrick and McClaurin, they're becoming a dynamic duo. So Fitzpatrick loved his wide receivers up in Tampa Bay, and I think he's gonna, he's liking the wide receiving group here. So can't wait to see, what he and Terry McClaurin can do on game day. Apke had a few, pass breakups. He's, transitioning from safety to cornerback. He was getting, he was getting burnt by, what's this guy's name? Dyami Brown during, OTAs, but he's transitioning from that corner, so he's doing pass breakups here. Here's the thing with Troy Apke. He's a good camp body, maybe a good preseason guy, but can never translate that to the regular season. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But he was able to do pass breakups here. Daron Payne knocked a pass down. So he's picking up where he left off. He had a few pass breakups and a few interceptions last year. So that's good to see. So that's what Zach Selby reported. So let's go with what some notes that I took down from Rhiannon Walker. Calvin Harmon had a deep catch. Had a big long pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick on one of the first plays. On the first play from 11 versus 11, Montez Sweat on the coverage of Adam Humphries. However, somehow Adam Humphries decided to bail out of that, and Fitzpatrick overthrows Adam Humphries, and then Cameron Curl almost comes up with an interception. He threw it too far. Lamar Miller. Yesterday, I was speaking on how Lamar Miller, had a couple of big runs, and again, he had, a few big runs here today as well. So I don't know, don't sleep on Lamar Miller. He had good seasons with the Houston Texans a few years back. He's a lot older. He's a little older now, but he could be a wild card in making this roster. So, Lamar Miller, don't sleep in on him. He had a big run through the left side, and he didn't get touched until he got to the second level of the defense. On 9-on-9 drills, Chase Young beat David Sharp, who was playing at left tackle today, for a sack. He sacked Taylor Heineke. Whatever. Sadiq Charles struggled this morning. He gave up a couple of sacks, but he got beat by Jamie Smith-Williams, a 7th-round draft choice from last year, I think. And then he also, Montez Sweat, finished off the job. So, Sadiq Charles, he's being flexed all over the place, trying to see what the best fit is. Again, the offensive line is going to be an interesting battle to see who goes where. But Sadiq Charles, who got hurt, who was hurt throughout the season last year, only played 3 snaps. So he has some developing to see where he can fit. Again, Cole Luke came back again to intercept a pass from Taylor Heineke. It was tipped and off the hands of Tony Brown. So again, like I said, Cole Luke, I don't know if he's going to make the active roster, maybe a practice squad position, but we'll have to wait and see. Temarrick Hemingway, we're getting into the fights here, guys, that occurred throughout today. Temarrick Hemingway and Montez Sweat got into an argument, and then Chase Young got involved as well, but then Ron Rivera, stepped in, in between Montez, Chase Young, and Hemingway to, calm it down, and then Hemingway was sent to the sidelines to cool off. Again, the heat, it's getting heated. Training camp is getting heated. Montez Sweat beats, Sam Cosmi today as well to get a few sacks off of him. Samuel Cosmi, like I said, left tackle, right tackle, he's, improving. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, giving him the mentorship that he needs. To beat the best, you gotta, to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And those two guys are the best right now. They're the most feared duo. Samis Reyes also gets into a heated argument. I can't remember who it was against at this time, but Samis Reyes, another guy that got into a heated exchange. Casey Toohill, the backup edge rusher, gets a sack off of Taylor Heineke, I think it was. And then Sweat, he was impactful with the sacks, but also stopped J.D. McKissick on a run, and J.D. McKissick looked up and said, "Come on, dog." So, Tony Brown gets a redemption story here today as well. He gets one over Cole Luke after the tipped pass off of Tony Brown's hands, and then he goes for 21 yards and goes out there. So he gets a redemption story. Does Tony Brown? Montez Sweat gets yet another sack, and then Landon Collins has a sack as well. Antonio Gandy-Golden also, has an impressive camp. It's going to come down, like I said, to that battle of Antonio Gandy-Golden and who else did I say? It was Antonio Gandy-Golden and Calvin Harmon. And, Calvin Harmon had a catch today that went over the shoulder, and he had a catch after the run. So, we'll have to wait and see. Gandy-Golden is Ron Rivera's pick, and he is, matched up against Calvin Harmon, who was the previous regime pick, who got hurt last year, got that torn ACL, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Peyton Barber gets a run. He lost some weight, so it's good to see that he's, getting some runs here as well. Again, we'll have to wait and see who makes the roster here, this season. I can't wait for this season, can't wait for training, training camp, is already here, of course, and I cannot wait for preseason, and I cannot wait for, the regular season to start. Can't wait. It's been an anxious day. So, alrighty, guys, that'll do it for some notes that I took down here today. Let me know what you guys think. It was Friday. It was fight day for certain players. It took time to cool off. It was a hot day today in Virginia. I know because I live in Virginia. I don't live in Richmond, but pretty much the weather is the same throughout. So let me know what you guys think of training camp day 3. What were you guys impressed by? It is your guys' time to shine with your comments down below. Let me know. Until then, guys, keep it real. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.